Storm Track First Forecast, sponsored by Gary County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Temperatures today warmed up only into the 50s and low 60s. We had quite the breeze blowing through, and that has settled in some cool, dry air with lots of 40s and 50s out there right now. But now that the sun is set and the winds have become nearly calm, temperatures will start falling a little bit more quickly. Already down to 37 at Marysville, 41 at Manhattan, 46 at Burlington. We're on our way down through the 40s into the 30s, a few passing clouds, but also the potential for frost by early in the morning tomorrow. Just how long before we start to warm things back up? A look at that is still ahead. Fox 43 News at 9 starts now.
Now at 9, learning certainly hasn't been easy this year, but in one district, it's more than the pandemic.
It's all cookie cutter. You know, it's not individualized like it would be with the teacher.
Why teachers are quitting and students are walking out at a school in Northeast Kansas. But first, new additions coming to a local university that could help in the state. Good evening and thanks for joining us for Fox 43 News at 9. I'm Mackenzie Davis. A nearly $8 million project announced at KU. Fox 43 News Capitol Bureau reporter Rebecca Chung explains how it will bring more opportunity to the state.
A groundbreaking event for the University of Kansas Bioscience and Technology Business Center. State leaders met to mark the $7.8 million federal grant for the university's new research facility. The goal of the project, to create new opportunities for entrepreneurship and technology in the community.
We can help grow the economy by improving the chances that our students in Kansas have access to an education that provides the best education in technology and engineering.
The project will be used to build a 66,000 square foot lab space where bioscience companies can develop their business. State leaders say bringing the business here will help local communities be more prepared in the face of natural disasters and help tackle future economic hits.
The fact that we've got this going in here reassures us that as we come out of this pandemic, you know, KU and Kansas will be well positioned to grow into prosperity.
And officials say one way to keep the economy moving is with a strong foundation of workers.
The workforce of the 21st century really requires a new look at the way students are educated, whether it's STEM or retooling and reskilling the next generation of workforce.
The project's expected to create more than 200 jobs for Lawrence and surrounding communities. I'm Rebecca Chung.
We had much of the day with a sunny sky after we got rid of that morning cloud cover, and even with the sunshine, those gusty north winds really kept us from warming up all that much. And now we've really started to cool down. We got the dry air to move in. That dry air is in place. The sky is clear. The winds are letting up, and it's down to 37 Marysville, 41 Manhattan, 44 at Clay Center, as well as Junction City, Holton, and Hiawatha. Definitely a chill in the air with little to no breeze. Those winds over the southeastern counties will also die down. Now with generally calm conditions, very dry air, very clear sky for quite a while. There are some clouds off to the north and west, but those should fizzle out, thin out as they approach. And because we're expecting temperatures to be widely into the lower to mid 30s, even though it's not below freezing for a hard freeze, we could be cold enough for surfaces to hit down to 32 or so and get some frost on surfaces. Frost advisory for the entire area as temperatures settle back into the low to mid 30s by early tomorrow morning. With sunshine tomorrow, how much you can expect it to warm back up? Still to come.
Tonight, police need your help tracking down a man who's been added to the Northeast Kansas most wanted list. This is 38-year-old William Stein. He is wanted on drug charges. He is 6'1" and weighs about 215 pounds. He has brown hair, blue eyes, and a tribal band tattoo on his right arm and a tattoo of cards on his left arm. If you know where he is, call Crime Stoppers or 1-800-KS-CRIME. A new style of teaching is upsetting students in a local school district and is even causing some teachers to quit. Fox 43 News reporter Alec Gardner shows us what action students are taking to fight back today.
Students in the Santa Fe Trail District walked out of their classrooms to show just how much they dislike the new program.
We shouldn't be taught by computers. We should be taught by actual people.
Coyote Aguilar is an 8th grader in Carbondale. At the beginning of the school year, his district started using the Summit Learning program in middle and high school. The program is free and largely taught on computers. Each student can get personalized coursework, and it lets them go at their own speed. But a group of students is saying they want to return to normal school.
I'd like it to go back to the way it was.
The district made the switch to Summit in order to have one clear curriculum and to improve test scores.
We were not as good as we felt like we could be.
However, many people expressed their frustration with the new program at Wednesday's board meeting, and now some teachers are announcing that they will step down or retire because of the program.
Most of our teachers have taught in a different way for a long time, so we're asking them to change a lot. Most of our students have learned in a different way, and so we're asking them to change a lot. So it is work, and it's hard.
District Superintendent Jim Lentz met with the group rallying outside of the school, but students and even parents say he's not listening.
It just makes everything so hard on kids.
It's all cookie cutter. You know, it's not individualized like it would be with the teacher.
The district says it's too early to see the results from the program, but that officials will continue to work to improve it. In Carbondale, Alec Gartner, Fox 43 News.
The number of new coronavirus cases in Kansas is on the rise. We've been tracking the numbers for you since the start. You can see the red line in this graph shows a 2-week average, a smooth out trend of coronavirus spread. The blue line shows the number of new cases each day. In total, nearly 68,000 people in Kansas have tested positive, and more than 54,000 of those people have recovered. 832 people in Kansas have died from the virus. A new arts and crafts warehouse in East Topeka is open, and it's being compared to the West Bottoms in Kansas City. Fox 43 News reporter Cassie Nichols shows us what it's all about.
A local man transformed this old Topeka warehouse into a vendor's market that opened today, and the building's been here since 1911. The warehouse was once Topeka Transfer and Storage Company. It has 5 10,000 square foot floors, and Todd Conkle plans on renovating them all.
We're looking to possibly break out different floors, maybe one floor for more antiques and another for more vintage type items.
Todd Conkle bought the building because it's close to downtown, and he fell in love with the rich history of the building.
We're just excited to add a little life to this area.
The vendors market has a variety of arts and antiques, and they plan on holding events regularly to connect with other local businesses.
We're looking at doing seasonal things like a Christmas event, also connecting with the arts district and Nodo, and kind of working with them as well.
The main floor of the market is almost full, meaning they are already about to start construction on the second. They're also in the process of adding a coffee bar and lounge area. The vendors market is open Thursday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. In Topeka, Cassie Nichols, Fox 43 News.
10 mobile drop boxes are being set up across the country for the upcoming election, the county, excuse me. We were the first to show you these trailers yesterday. The system is in place to make it easier on voters to access a place to drop off their ballots. The trailers will also be taken apart before the end of the day. They are scheduled twice a week for 2 weeks at 10 locations. We want to keep you informed ahead of the general election. One of the big races we are watching right now is who will win the U.S. Senate seat in Kansas. So leading up to the election day, we will be getting answers from Senate candidates Barbara Bollier and Roger Marshall about issues important to you. Our Capitol Bureau reporter Corinne Griffith spoke with the candidates about President Trump's controversial Supreme Court nomination.
President Trump's pick for the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, has been in the hot seat, answering questions from lawmakers over the last 4 days in Washington. Barrett's nomination to the nation's highest court has drawn a lot of attention because it's happening so close to the election. In 2016, Republicans refused to vote on then-President Obama's nomination for that same reason. Democrats say the same rules should apply now, and Senate candidate Barbara Bollier agrees.
They should follow what they said, keep their word, and do the same thing. We're already in the middle of an election right now. And we should be taking our time because these are lifetime appointments.
However, Republican candidate Roger Marshall disagrees. He says Kansans elected Republicans to the U.S. Senate for a time like this.
Before in American history, during a presidential election year, we've had a similar situation where the Senate majority and the president are of the same party, and I think that many Kansans want us to move forward with the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett.
The Senate must have 51 yes votes to confirm Barrett to the Supreme Court. And according to the Associated Press, the Supreme Court nomination process has previously taken about 70 days. Amy Coney Barrett was nominated 19 days ago, and with just 19 days to go until November 3rd. At the Capitol, I'm Corinne Griffith.
A $9 million piece of work. Up next, the historic sale of Shakespeare's work, breaking a record.
Temperatures tonight dropping back down into the low to mid 30s, mainly clear with areas of frost around on the light and variable wind. A chilly start to the day tomorrow. Much of a rebound we'll see as we head towards Saturday, still to come.
You're watching Fox 43 News at 9 with Mackenzie Davis, Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller, and Pete Francis with sports.
All new I Can See Your Voice after The Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
Career politicians get caught up in fighting each other instead of doing right by the people they represent. I'm Brenda Dietrich. I'm a problem solver with years of experience as an educator in our local schools. I'm running for the Kansas Senate to keep our economy open and growing, to fight for lower taxes, especially on the food our families put on the table, and above all, to renew faith and trust in public service. I humbly ask for your vote.
Happy Hour just got hoppier at IHOP with a $5 menu featuring pancakes, burgers, and more yum-yums. So while you can't buy happiness, you can buy hoppiness. iHoppy Hour, every day from 2 to 10 p.m.
That's my neighbor. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, don't you think it'd be a good idea if you called 811 and get your underground utilities marked?
This isn't my first project.
I think there's an oil pipeline goes through here somewhere.
It's on my neighbor's side.
Oh, you think so? Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You need a towel there, Slick?
Get your celebration ready with Kansas Lottery's Play On to the Big Game. Scan your tickets with the Play On app, then redeem your points for an entry, and you and a friend could be dancing your way to the World Championship.
The 2020 Ford EcoSport and Escape were built for the Midwest to make driving fun and well-equipped. Want a powerful suite of driver assist technologies? You got them. Or confidence no matter the road? All yours. How about a Wi-Fi hotspot? You're plugged in. Now get 0% for 66 months plus $1,000 in trade assist or $4,500 cash back plus $1,000 in trade assist on Escape. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
The KSNT Storm Tracker is sponsored by Dovetail Roofing. You're watching Fox 43 KTMJ.
A rare collection of William Shakespeare's works hit the auction block in New York on Wednesday. The record-breaking sale marking the first time in nearly 20 years a complete copy of a collection like this has been made available. Fox News chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt has the details.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. A book containing 36 of William Shakespeare's plays sold at an auction Wednesday for a record $9.97 million.
Sold.
The rare first folio, Comedies, Histories and Tragedies, contains 36 works by the bard. Dated 1623, it was compiled by Shakespeare's friends 7 years after the playwright's death. Among the pages, 18 plays that at the time were unpublished and might have been lost, including Macbeth and Julius Caesar.
It's one of the most important books, of course, in the history of English literature.
Mills College, a private liberal arts college in Oakland, California, giving the collection of works to Christie's to put on the auction block, making it one of only 6 known complete copies in private hands.
This copy is a complete copy. That means it has all of its pages, and that's very unusual in that Shakespeare was read and read and read, and so many copies, the vast majority of copies, are imperfect. And this is the first time in a generation that a complete copy has come on the market.
The auction price setting a new record for any printed work of literature, closing the book on the previous high of $6.16 million for a Shakespeare First Folio purchased in 2001. The current buyer's identity is not yet known, but parting with nearly $10 million is such sweet sorrow. In Los Angeles, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
Allen Fieldhouse could look much different this season. Up next, what Bill Self thinks about playing without fans.
Tonight we're looking at temperatures that'll dip back down into the middle 30s by 8 o'clock, about 36 degrees. Should be cold enough that we'll see some patchy frost here and there in the morning. We do have a frost advisory for late night, early tomorrow morning, but a decent recovery. Cool day up into the low to mid 60s, but more of a west breeze developing toward the afternoon. That'll eventually lead into south wind. How much that'll warm us up for Saturday, still to come.
Don't miss the House of Woo musical review at the Columbian Theater in Wamego.
I'm Barbara Bollier, and I approve this message.
Before Roger Marshall became a politician, he was a big healthcare executive. Now in Washington, he votes with the healthcare executives, and they make millions, while you pay more for coverage. Marshall voted against lowering drug costs and opposed protections for pre-existing conditions. He even voted to allow insurance companies to charge higher premiums for seniors, an age tax. Roger Marshall stands with the healthcare companies, and you pay more.
My dad is State Senator Anthony Hensley. Growing up, he taught me what commitment means to family, to public service, and to giving back to the community we've always called home. As a classroom teacher for 43 years, his passion for education inspired me to become an educator too. Whether it's in the State House, the schoolhouse, or our house, my dad is somebody you can always count on.
While my opponent talks about change, my commitment to this community remains the same.
Great Bend, Kansas, served by a community nonprofit hospital for generations, until Roger Marshall stepped in. Marshall and his family saw opportunity to make millions, so they opened a private for-profit hospital, which eventually drove the nonprofit out of business. Then Marshall and his wife cashed in when their hospital sold for more than $24 million. When it comes to health care, Roger Marshall is all about the money, not you. Duty and Country is responsible for the content of this ad.
Meet Lyle, a dedicated nurse and morning regular at Casey's.
Good morning. How are you?
To show how much we appreciate him, we make sure the coffee's brewed fresh and the donuts are ready to go. For Lyle and anyone who prefers their morning routine with something free. That's right. Now at Casey's, every 6th coffee you buy is free. Casey's, here for morning routines, here for good.
Need help with your money? Join us for Financial Insights, Wednesdays at 7 on Fox 43 AM Live, sponsored by Lord's Financial Planning.
Whether it's the habanero and mango or the sweet onion teriyaki with over 54 flavors of chicken, pork, and beef broths, you're sure to find your favorite flavor at Leonard Meat. Hamburger by the pound or patties, marinated chicken, bacon, pork, spare ribs, 9 flavors of sausage, and the one-of-a-kind hamburger with bacon. Leonard Meat is much more than a meat shop with Stumpy's cheese, spices, pickles, appetizers, and more. Great quality at a great price. Leonard Meat, downtown Topeka.
Kim Cattrall in Filthy Rich, all new Monday on Fox.
Now, your storm track weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller.
Just cold enough tonight under a clear sky for areas of frost to develop. If you haven't yet covered up or brought in potted plants, that may need to kind of be extended for a little bit longer through the season. Tonight would be a good night to get those covered up, maybe just cold enough to nip those with some frost. Sunny and cool, though, for tomorrow. Then windy weather moves in overnight, late Friday night, Saturday morning, and then through the day on Saturday. Our next cold front comes in Saturday evening. And by the time we're into Sunday, it'll be noticeably cooler once again. But we do get a little chance to warm up. And tonight, that's not happening. It's clear to partly cloudy through the night, already getting quite chilly across the region. Current temperature at Billard Airport is down to 47. It's calm and is dry. That dry air, light wind combination with the clear sky really all comes together for a chilly night ahead of us. 64 was the high, and a lot of that was reached late last night, early this morning, as the cooler air was just moving in. And then 47, current temperature, that's the low. It started out this morning in around 50 degrees, but now we've been seeing those temperatures cool off even more. It's all the way down to 41 Manhattan. Into the 30s already for Marysville, 37 degrees, 43 at Holton and at Forbes Field. Certainly on track with very light to negligible wind at all. I mean, some areas are entirely calm. We're on track for frost as we head into the morning hours tomorrow. That's with the wind staying light. By right in the daybreak, we may start to see about a 5 to 10 mile per hour breeze pick up. And then once we get a little bit warmer after lunchtime, we'll be still cool, but warmer than obviously the start of the day. We'll be up in the 50s and 60s during the afternoon, and a west breeze around 10 or 15 miles per hour. Here's where the wind really starts to not only change direction to more of a southerly wind overnight Friday into Saturday, but strengthening during the night. Wake up Saturday morning about 7. Winds will be 20 to 30 miles per hour. They should be that way through about lunchtime, and then they'll start to shift to the north. Doesn't really weaken much. Still 20, 25 mile per hour winds, but change directions behind a cold front, and much cooler air starts to settle back into the area. We do have a mostly clear sky. We've seen these high thin clouds that moved through earlier push away to the south and just kind of situated now over southern Kansas and Oklahoma along and just south of the jet stream flow. Other clouds moving in out of Nebraska and South Dakota are already thinning out. We may see a few of those pass on by. With a mainly clear sky, areas of frost are expected as we drop down to 35 tonight. A few areas closer to 32, especially north and northwest. Then we're back into the low to mid 60s tomorrow after some early frost, sunshine, and a west breeze returns by afternoon, though, up to about 15 miles per hour. That's a little far cry from how windy it will be on Saturday, but it'll warm us up a lot to a high of 76. Then the front comes in, cooler and breezy on Sunday with highs in the 50s, 56 on Monday. If we get a shower or two Sunday or Sunday night, it'd be pretty limited, and then maybe a better chance for some of that trying to set up. I'll be honest, that Tuesday, Wednesday pattern is just kind of a messy one. We get a low moving through. If it can come together, maybe some rain chances with that, but it does look like temperatures will be into the 60s for the middle portion of next week, and then another front should move in late Wednesday or Thursday. So a little ups and downs, but I'd say if you want the warmest day of the week, it is coming on Saturday, but it will be quite windy on Saturday as well.
Oh my gosh, and I was just thinking, thank goodness I wake up far after the sun rises, so I will miss that frost tomorrow morning. But
is that just your blissful way of missing the coldest part of the day?
Oh yeah, I hibernate in the morning to avoid it. But
a lot of us still have things to get done, so it will be cold in the morning.
I have stuff to get done too. My eyes need to rest. I got to prepare for the day, you know.
You know, to each their own, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah. It's okay. One day I'll wake up early enough to feel the frost, I guess. Well, stick with us. We'll be right back for our Sports Minute.
We need leaders like Tobias Schlingensieben in the state Senate to help move our state forward. Tobias is a lifelong resident of Senate District 18. He's the senior minister of the church he grew up in. He's a chaplain for the Topeka Police Department and is deeply committed to serving the men and women who serve our communities. Tobias shares our priorities: access to affordable health care with coverage of pre-existing conditions, good-paying jobs, and fully funded schools.
I'm Tobias Schlingensieben, and I ask for your vote on November 3rd.
Barbara Bollier says she's bipartisan, but votes with Democrats over 90% of the time, making Bollier much more like extreme liberal Nancy Pelosi. Bollier and Pelosi support liberal government-controlled health care, a plan that could close 67 Kansas rural hospitals, raise taxes on Kansas workers more than $2,200 a year, and wipe out your employer-provided health insurance. Bollier, Pelosi, Pelosi, Bollier. Wrong for Kansas. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
I'm Dr. Roger Marshall, and I approve this message.
8 years ago, state legislators voted on a bill. Stronger penalties for those who know a child is being sexually abused but don't report it. 123 legislators voted yes. Only one extremist voted no. You've probably seen her ads claiming she's moderate. Tell Barbara Bollier there's nothing moderate about covering up child sex abuse, and there's no excuse for what she did.
You're watching Fox 43 KTMJ. Now, sports with sports director Pete Francis.
We all know there are few places with a home court advantage like Allen Fieldhouse, but this season will be different. We still don't know how many fans or if any fans will be able to attend games at the Fieldhouse this season. Bill Self has won, get this, nearly 96% of his games at Allen Fieldhouse with an incredible record of 202 wins and just 11 losses.
You know, we've had the best home court in America. That's been proven out over time for a long time, and I think a lot of that is due to the quality of players we have, but also a big portion of it is due to the support that we receive, and we're not going to have that. I would think if you're an opponent, you see this as an opportunity to play at Kansas.
And the Jayhawks' schedule is still being finalized. Le'Veon Bell is the newest Kansas City Chief, signing with the team tonight. The 28-year-old had 19 carries this season for the Jets with 74 yards on the ground. Bell's best years came in Pittsburgh, where he had over 3 1,300-yard seasons. So a big signing for the Chiefs, Mackenzie.
All right, thanks, Pete. A popular event at the Topeka Zoo will look a little different this year. Boo at the Zoo is happening over the next 3 Saturdays. People are encouraged to dress up in their Halloween costumes, get some candy, and see the animals play with pumpkins and scarecrows. This year, the zoo says it is adding another day for people to attend and to make sure everyone is safe and keeping their proper distance.
It's really important to us that we still did this event, you know, because I think so many people's lives have been just turned over, and so to keep this event normal and the kids get to still participate, we're really excited we get to do it.
The zoo is encouraging you to buy tickets online so they know how many people to expect. I have to agree with her. It's nice to have something normal right now.
Yeah, you know, obviously I have to be safe, but wherever we can find safety and normalcy together, that's a good thing.
What a better time to wear a mask than Halloween and every day.
That is very true.
Yeah.
All right, tonight we drop down into the low to mid 30s, just cold enough for areas of frost to develop late tonight into the morning. I mentioned earlier, it has not yet dipped down that cold for that, so if you've got some plants that you want covered up, kept through the cold of the night, now would be a great time to get out there and get that done as we warm back up to 64 tomorrow, and then windy weather on Saturday, and we're back up to a high of 76. Enjoy that before we cool down again later in the weekend and on into early next week. Highs come back down in the 50s for a couple of days.
All right, last few days to enjoy that heat. Well, thanks for watching and have a great night.